Have you ever heard the name Tapin? Most people have not. It rarely appears in international headlines. It is not the first destination travellers mention when discussing Indonesia. And yet, hidden within the southern heart of Borneo, there exists a land whose story is far greater than most people could ever imagine. A land shaped by rivers, a land forged through struggle, a land built by generations who refuse to let their identity disappear. This is Tapin, a remarkable regency in South Kalimantan, Indonesia, a place where history flows as naturally as the rivers that cross its landscape, a place where every village, every field, every bend in the water carries echoes of centuries past. At first glance, Tapin may appear quiet. Its population in 2025 stands at approximately 203,660 people, spread across an area of 2,174.95 square kilometres. Its capital is Rantau, a growing town that serves as the administrative and cultural centre of the region. But statistics alone can never tell the full story of a place, because Tapin is more than numbers, it is more than maps, it is more than administrative boundaries. Tapin is a story of geography, resilience, heritage and determination. To understand Tapin, you must first understand the river that gave life to this land. The Tapin River is not merely a waterway, it is the lifeline of an entire region. Flowing through landscapes that have sustained communities for generations, the river branches into four important tributaries: the Muning River, the Tatakan River, the Halat River, and the Gadung River. Together, these waterways form a network that has shaped settlement patterns, transportation routes, agriculture, and local culture for centuries. Long before highways connected distant towns, rivers connected people. Long before modern infrastructure existed, rivers carried dreams, trade, traditions, and survival. The story of Tapin begins with water. Geographically, Tapin occupies a strategic position within South Kalimantan. It lies between 2 degrees 32 minutes and 3 degrees south latitude, and between 114 degrees 46 minutes and 115 degrees 30 minutes east longitude. To the north lies Hulu Sungai Selatan. To the east and south stands Banjar Regency. To the west stretches Barito Kuala. These borders define Tapin politically, but the spirit of Tapin reaches far beyond any line drawn on a map. The land itself tells an extraordinary story. Much of Tapin consists of lowland terrain. Nearly 70% of the region sits only a few metres above sea level. Vast tidal swamps characterise portions of the landscape, particularly in areas influenced by coastal and riverine ecosystems. These wetlands are not empty spaces. They are living environments that support biodiversity, agriculture, fisheries, and local livelihoods. When viewed from above, Tapin reveals a landscape shaped by nature's patience. Flat plains dominate much of the territory. Over 80% of the regency consists of land with very gentle slopes. This geography has influenced everything from settlement development to farming practices. Yet hidden within this seemingly modest terrain is a remarkable diversity of environments. The largest district, Candi Laras Utara, covers more than a quarter of Tapin's total territory. Meanwhile, Tapin Utara, where the capital Rantau is located, occupies a much smaller area, but serves as the beating heart of administration and public life. For generations, people here have learned to live in harmony with the rhythms of nature. They have adapted to seasonal flooding. They have cultivated fertile lands. They have built communities that endure despite challenges. And perhaps that spirit of endurance explains why Tapin's history is one of perseverance. The roots of Tapin stretch deep into the history of the Banjar Sultanate. For centuries, South Kalimantan was influenced by powerful kingdoms, trading networks, and cultural exchanges that connected Borneo with wider Southeast Asia. The Banjar Sultanate emerged as one of the most important political entities in the region. Its influence extended across rivers, forests, and settlements that today form parts of modern South Kalimantan. Then came colonial rule. The 19th century brought dramatic changes. In 1860, the Dutch colonial government formally abolished the Banjar Sultanate. The territory was incorporated into the colonial administration known as the Government of Borneo. Administrative divisions were reorganized, districts were created, boundaries were redrawn. Communities that had long identified with traditional systems suddenly found themselves governed under a different structure. The region that would eventually become Tapin became part of these evolving colonial arrangements. Districts such as Benua Empat and Margasari became components of administrative units managed by Dutch authorities. What may appear as bureaucratic adjustments in historical records were in reality profound transformations affecting everyday lives. New systems of governance emerged, new relationships of power developed, and local communities had to navigate an increasingly complex political landscape. Yet throughout these changes, the people of Tapin preserved something essential: their sense of identity, their connection to the land, their belief that their region deserved recognition. As Indonesia moved toward independence and nationhood in the 20th century, those aspirations became stronger. During the 1950s and early 1960s, the area known today as Tapin existed as the Tapin Kewedanan, an administrative district under Hulu Sungai Selatan Regency. Its administrative centre was Rantau. At the time, the region consisted of only 3 sub-districts: Tapin Utara, Tapin Selatan, and Tapin Hilir. Many local leaders believed the region possessed the population, resources, and administrative capacity necessary to stand on its own. But achieving that goal would require vision, it would require organisation, and above all, it would require courage. One of the most influential figures in this movement was H. Anang Achil Shofyan. In 1958, he began advocating for a bold idea. He proposed that Tapin should become its own regency. What began as a conversation among community leaders quickly evolved into a movement. Religious scholars joined the effort. Village leaders offered support. Youth groups became involved. Political figures lent their voices. The dream of autonomy became a collective mission. Meetings were held, discussions intensified, strategies were developed. In Rantau, community members gathered at the People's Hall. There they established an organisation dedicated to pursuing regency status for Tapin. This was not merely a political campaign, it was a statement of identity, a declaration that the people of Tapin believed in their future. Years passed, the movement gained momentum. In 1961, another major assembly took place. A new organisation, known as the Tapin Regency Advocacy Body, was formed. Its mission was clear: to secure recognition for Tapin as an autonomous regency. Resolutions were prepared and sent to government officials. Appeals reached Jakarta. Copies were delivered to provincial leaders, military authorities, legislators, and media organisations. The people of Tapin refused to be ignored. They organised, they communicated, they persisted. Then came a breakthrough. In 1963, a delegation from the national legislature visited Tapin to observe conditions directly. The visit validated years of advocacy. Momentum accelerated, preparations intensified, and finally, after years of determination and collective effort, success arrived. On November 30th, 1965, a historic moment changed the destiny of the region forever. Tapin officially became a regency. The ceremony marked the culmination of countless meetings, proposals, debates, and sacrifices. For the people who had dedicated years to the cause, it was more than an administrative victory. It was the realization of a dream born from unity, a dream sustained by perseverance, a dream transformed into reality. Since that historic day, Tapin has continued to evolve. Roads have expanded, schools have grown, public institutions have developed, economic opportunities have increased. Yet despite modernization, the spirit that created Tapin remains visible. It can be found in the determination of farmers working the land. It can be found in teachers educating the next generation. It can be found in community leaders preserving local traditions. It can be found in families who continue to build their future upon the foundations laid by those who came before them. Because the story of Tapin is ultimately a story about people. Not famous people, not powerful people, but ordinary people whose extraordinary persistence shaped the destiny of an entire region. Their names may never appear in global history books, yet their impact remains visible everywhere, in every school, in every government office, in every neighborhood, in every bridge crossing the rivers that gave life to this land. Today, as Indonesia continues its journey in the 21st century, Tapin stands as a reminder of something profoundly important. Greatness is not measured by how often a place appears in the news. It is not measured by skyscrapers. It is not measured by global fame. Greatness is measured by resilience, by unity, by the ability of a community to believe in itself, even when recognition seems distant. And that is precisely what makes Tapin remarkable. Hidden among the rivers and plains of South Kalimantan is a place that transformed aspiration into achievement, a place that turned hope into history, a place that reminds us that every region, no matter how small it may seem on a map, possesses a story worth telling, a story worth preserving, a story worth celebrating, and a story worth sharing with the world. This is Tapin, not merely a regency, not merely a destination, but a living testament to perseverance, identity, and the enduring strength of a people who chose to shape their own future.